Welcome back to Sulvev QSD Reba's Property Matters. To do something in the Indian way doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be conservative. Today we will be visiting a house which I think is a perfect reinterpretation of Indian architecture in a more contemporary fashion. And the only thing imported here is the lady of the house herself.
Say the word Karaikudi and one is instantly reminded of those many windows that line the walls. And Lydie'S house at Muttukad is just that. Windows that were once part of a Karaikudi house has a hand-in-glove fit to this new home that she's made for herself. While one side of her house is an imitation of a Karaikudi home, the front portion has a modern finish, and surprisingly, both these architectural styles blend marvelously.
While they're giving a site now, they give with all the plants and already they planted with mangoes tree and coconut tree, everything. They're very much particular about not cutting the trees. That's why I placed the building in a X manner. It's almost like perpendicular, so that they can have the maximum benefit of sun and light, as well as they can avoid the radiation in the summer also.
The main door to the house is sourced from Karaikudi itself, and it continues to look the way it did in its original home. Everything from the carvings to the knobs to the lock has been retained, and this unpolished wooden wonder continues to stand in all its grandeur.
So it's always to me a contradiction if somebody says, oh yes, I've got German furniture. Well, great, but you know, there's so many nicer pieces in India. Why bring it all the way from Germany, from a different climate, and stick it like an alien in a culture where it doesn't belong? So yes, some pieces are perhaps nice if they are built for a certain purpose. But to build an entire house in a style of a culture which doesn't belong there doesn't seem to make a lot of sense for me.
Being confined to something doesn't quite agree with Lydie'S character, and that is why she insisted on open spaces and a railless stair. The reading, the living, the dining and the kitchen blends into one big room, and the house has about it a lived-in feel. The reading area has a comfortable and inviting elephant hide chair from Sri Lanka, and it must be pure pleasure to plonk on it, feet tucked in, and read a book. Sunlight streams through the mirror brick wall behind during the day, and the over-the-top chandelier helps at night. The sofa nearby is equally comfy, and every wall is lined with photographs of cherished memories and people dear.
We have aspects of my husband's religion. We have aspects of our travels together. We have aspects of our home together. We have aspects of our cultures together. And these elements make a home. And that's why I believe one should live and work and build in the culture of where one lives.
The dining space has a Kashmiri walnut table with chairs which were made to order in Chennai. This carved piece has a design of an Indian dragon, a lotus and the Vishnu Namam, all carved out in an asymmetrical pattern. A glass vase which houses Lydie'S collection of shells is placed in the center of the table. On the windowsill sit some of her most prized possessions, like the clock her great-grandfather gifted his daughter, that is her grandmother. The desk in the hall belonged to her father-in-law, and it is in his memory that they have it there. More paintings and photographs line the wall, and the made-to-order teak cabinet is an imitation of a design Lydie had seen in a magazine. The kitchen is open and practical, and here again, the old world charm meets new age utility space. She also has a work area behind the kitchen. The TV room is separated from the main hall by curtains, and most of the karekudi windows are a part of this room. The marble slabs that are placed on dark brown wooden frame and a grey blue metal stand match without matching and seem in sync with each other. The boat bed is an imitation of a 1930s design, which was again made to order in Chennai.
So when I come back from work, I like my home to feel like I can just plonk down, put my feet up, switch my music on and go, oh, thank heaven, I'm home.
And at home is exactly what one feels here. On the first floor is the office space, and adding the right personal touch are more photographs of family and a painting by Lydie's daughter Catherine. Beyond the office space is a terrace. The solar heater placed on the upper level helps save electricity, and the thatch roof on the terrace works as a coolant and a protection shield during the harsh summer. A swing, some comfortable chairs and cushions make this spot a delight to be in.
Sitting here on this terrace surrounded by so much of Indianness, I have to agree with what Lydie always says, that there is no stopping the things that you can do in India. On that note, let's take a short break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, there's lots more coming up on Suryadev QSD Reba's Property Matters.